So when the trailer came out for this, I was actually kind of intrigued. Because when Halo 3 ended, I was thinking, you know, it'd be kind of cool if they didn't do the same enemies this time around. They actually had set in like another galaxy, whatnot. They didn't quite do what I was thinking, but they did kind of come close. And so I was kind of interested in Halo 4 when it first came out, and I finally played it on 360, and then again on Xbox One. So the question is, how is this? Is this a good start to a new trilogy? Is it a good conclusion to 360 owners? What's the deal with this game? Well, I'm going to get into it. And first off, do the thing. You know, the thing. Now off the show.
I'm here.
Okay, so I gotta ask about the elephant in the room, okay? Why does Master Chief have a new suit? Like, I thought maybe they would show in the game, but no. In the game, Halo 3, spoilers for Halo 3 now. If you haven't played Halo 3, don't stop watching this and go play it. But Halo 3, Master Chief gets cryogenically frozen because the ship's adrift in deep space. And he goes to sleep frozen looking like this. And then when he wakes up, he looks like this. It's like, did I miss something? Is there like some sort of comic book that he woke up partway through his cryo sleep, got a new suit, and then went back to sleep? Why does Master Chief have a new suit? It's just like, imagine going to bed wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and when you wake up you're wearing a three-piece suit and you have no idea who dressed you. Like, what? And apparently one of the developers said in an interview, oh yeah, that was because of nanites that changed his costume while he was in cryosleep. Does the game ever mention this at one point? Nope. Is there a text dialogue thing you can read partway through the game? Nope, not that I could find. You had to just hope that you saw the interview with this one developer. You guys are on an amazing track right now with your new attempt at an established franchise from another company. But something I will give credit to is I absolutely loved this story. I know a lot of people didn't like this story, but I liked the less climactic story of Halo 4. Essentially, I would say that Halo 4 is kind of a final chapter for returning 360 players who aren't going to get Xbox One. Alright? Case in point, there are people, when they get done with a game console generation, they will move on to another console. Okay? So, people who played Xbox 360 all throughout that generation, they got PS4 after that. Alright? And so, one of the things I was curious about was, how is this final Halo game on Xbox 360 going to treat the canon? Are they going to make it a cliffhanger to try and get people to buy Xbox Ones? Thankfully, they didn't do that, alright? The story here actually has a nice ending. It's the start of a new trilogy, but objectively looking at it, it's a really nice conclusion to the story. It's not the most upbeat, happy conclusion, but it's a little bit more final than the end of Halo 3, because at the end of Halo 3, it was like, well, Chief's frozen, he's out of deep space, what's going to happen? What's happening with him? Is he alive? He's just out there floating. You kind of had this uncertainty about Master Chief, and with Halo 4, the way they end it, it's just like, you know, it's not the happiest ending, but That'll do, pig. That'll do. You know? Like, it's just like, yeah, no, this is a nice ending point to anyone who's not getting an Xbox One or doesn't want to continue with the Halo series. You could actually end it here, and I like that. I thought that was really cool. But I really like Chief's and Cortana's relationship in this game. Essentially, I won't say they're lovers, but they are like thick as thieves. They are like two peas in a pod in this game. They will kill for each other, and they will disobey orders for each other. One of the best scenes is a scene where, I mean, Master Chief is all about duty, and he literally gets us very close to saying fuck off to a superior officer when it comes to him and Cortana, because honestly, that is like the first thing he cares about. Then the human race, then, you know, military command, and then, you know, himself. Okay, it's like that's like his belief system. And so I thought that scene worked very well on terms of his characterization, not in terms of other characterizations. I'll get to that a little bit. But also with the story, we get our first proper villain of the series. I mean, we went through an entire trilogy, 4 games actually, and there was never really a proper villain. Alright, sure, you could say the Prophets were really a villain, but they really were just kind of pawns in this huge galactic impending doom, alright? But no, in this game, we actually get a proper villain, and I kind of like that. I want to see more proper villains down the road. Another really big benefit is the voice acting. Voice acting is top notch. I mean, Steve Downes and, I think it's Jennifer Hale? But Steve Downes is back in his iconic voice. You know, Cortana's voice actor is back. They both do an amazing job. I absolutely love the voice acting in this game. Everyone hit their mark just fine. I didn't cringe once at any of the voice acting or dialogue in this game. I remember the days of gaming when every single fucking game I would cringe at the voice acting because no one had any decent voice acting, and now it's nice to actually see so many products that have decent voice acting. I love it. But something that really came off weird is the fact that Master Chief, you know, the asshole that saved the entire human race from oblivion not 3 years prior, is treated like dog shit in this game, alright? Everyone treats him like shit. I mean, the only person who doesn't treat him like shit is Lansky, okay? He treats him pretty decently, and if you see the movie Halo Forward Unto Dawn, you will actually know why, because Halo and Lansky did interact before. He saved Lansky's life a long time ago, and so that's why Lansky treats him with such reverence. But everyone else, like Palmer, more on Palmer in a little bit, and the captain of the ship, I think Del Rio is his name, treat him like fucking shit. I mean, they treat him like he is garbage. It's like, shut your fucking mouth. This bastard saved your ass 3 years ago. Show a little fucking respect, you dipshit. That's how I felt with Del Rio, okay, the commander of the ship. Another negative, I'm sorry, I'm holding this against the entire series after Halo 2 Anniversary. Those amazing skulls are missing where if you hit an enemy, they go flying. Why is this not standard? Why do you not have that in every single Halo game, okay? It's going to be a strike against you until you start having that standard, okay? You teased us with it in Halo 2 Anniversary, just have it in every single Halo game, okay? That's all I want. All I'm asking for. Now, something else that's really amazing is this game is truly gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely breathtaking at times. And I'm not talking about the Xbox One version now. I am talking about the 360 version. The 360 version is a gorgeous game. They pushed that system to its very limits with this game, and it ran very well, and that thing to this day still looks absolutely gorgeous. On the Xbox One, it's even nicer. They have the resolution kicked up a little bit, anti-aliasing is toned down a little bit, which I love, and it just looks even better on Xbox One. I mean, if you see that on Xbox One, it would be hard for you to tell if it was a current gen or a last gen experience. And it's actually a last gen experience, but no, it feels like an Xbox One gen experience, and I absolutely love that with this game. Another thing is I absolutely love the audio. So every weapon got a upgrade, okay? So the assault rifle, the battle rifle, everything, the plasma pistol, everything has a more aggressive tone to it, and I love it. Everything is fun to use. I love using all the weapons in this game. Even the battle rifle isn't as terrible as it was in the original Halo 2, which I like. Still, vocal audio is way too low in comparison with the music, and there was a lot of times that I had to restart a checkpoint like 5 times just to try and hear what someone said as the music hits high note. As I'm trying to hear what the hell this guy said happened to this one character that we're not going to see again. And like, I finally gave up after the 7th time. It's just like, please, 343 Industries, put a damn volume control on the music in the options menu. Please, for the love of all that is holy, stop. Okay, every other video game lets you control the music level. Why won't you? Please. Please. Speaking of music, the musical score is quite nice. I liked it. Martin O'Donnell's score isn't quite back, but it does feel very Halo-ish. Unlike ODST, where that musical score was just fine, but it didn't feel like a Halo game. It felt like a LA Noire game. Okay? So, I'm glad that this new musical score does have, like, the spirit of Halo in it. And that's all I really want. Okay, I understand we can't always get the Martin O'Donnell score, but at least give us the spirit. Something really annoying, though, is the last level has invisible walls in it. I don't know why. I noticed it, pointing it out. I mean, I don't hate invisible walls as much as other people, but it is something worth noting. Now, in terms of terminals, okay, they introduced terminals back with previous games, but Halo 4 terminals actually do give you some backstory between the Librarian and the Didact. Those are 2 new characters that are introduced in this game, and they kind of give you a more fleshed out story, so you kind of know what their deal is, because in the main campaign, they don't really go into it that much. There's a blink and you're missing moment where it's like, oh, okay, that's what you are to this character. And the terminals do help flesh that out quite a bit, so you kind of get their complete story in the terminals. I would recommend not watching the terminals before playing Halo 4 because it might spoil some shit for you. Now, the interesting thing about this whole package is once you finish the campaign, there is something called Spartan Ops. There's also multiplayer. I did not touch the multiplayer at all. I simply went to Spartan Ops. Now, something worth knowing, if you're getting this game on 360, you will not be able to play Spartan Ops without internet. And even then, I think the servers are being shut down or have been shut down for 360. So essentially, Spartan Ops is virtually useless on the 360 version. All you're going to get is the campaign. So you don't have a lot of replayability with the game overall. But on the Master Chief Collection, Spartan Ops is playable offline. Basically showing that a lot, especially this game in particular, did not need an online-only requirement for Spartan Ops. Okay, you can actually play it offline. And so I played Spartan Ops, and essentially Spartan Ops is a second game you get with Halo 4. Okay, it's kind of like the interlude, like Halo 4.5. And it's a playable series of episodes with CGI cutscenes and everything. So you're essentially getting a new second game with Spartan Ops. The other thing is you're getting 50 levels. You heard that right. You're getting 50 separate levels with the entire Spartan Ops campaign. Now, this comes at a price. One, they reuse a lot of levels to death. Secondly, each level kind of plays out the same. So, basically, all the Spartan Ops levels were designed for multiplayer. You're meant to play this with friends. You're playing as Crimson Team. You can play these levels alone, solo though. I've played most of them, including the last one, solo, and I was able to play them just fine. But it was intended to play with friends. You play as Crimson Team, and essentially how each level plays is you go in, you activate a button, the room fills up with enemies, you have to take them all out, then they fill up again with another wave of enemies, and then a final wave, and then you have to either go to a spot or hit a button to leave. That's how all 50 levels play out as. And it gets boring after a while. I didn't play all of Spartan Ops. I kind of stopped after level 20 and watched the cutscenes and then played the last couple of levels. Just because it kind of got boring. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And clearly, you were meant to play this with friends and on a weekly basis. Now, the cutscenes are beautiful. I mean, they are gorgeous. And they are quite impressive. Another thing is that they do fill in the backstory with Dr. Halsey and do set up events in Halo 5 Guardians, okay? Halo 5 Guardians I played before playing the Spartan Ops levels, and it was just like, wait a minute, okay, what happened? Like, what's the deal with Halsey? I had no idea what I missed. I was like, I played Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm playing 5, and like, I have no idea how Halsey got in this position. And it's the Spec Ops. The Spec Ops or Spartan Ops of Halo 4 explains that through the cutscenes and whatnot. So, you know, you'll want to at least watch the cutscenes to Halo 4 before playing Halo 5, and at the very least to kind of have an idea of what is going on. But as beautiful as cutscenes are, one of the big issues is you play as Crimson Team, but all the cutscenes follow Halsey, the commander of the ship, and a blue team. They don't follow Crimson Team. So essentially, you're doing all the work, and they're like mentioned Crimson Team in passing. Like, oh yeah, did you hear Crimson Team? Like, you know, did this? Like, oh, that's pretty cool. And like, that's the only thing you have to do in the cutscenes is that, which it's very anticlimactic. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know why they did that. And one of the things that I absolutely hate in Spartan Ops is Spartan Palmer. She's like the head Spartan of the entire ship, the Infinity, and she is a condescending asshole like you cannot believe. Alright? I mean, Master Chief, he kind of has this respect to grunts underneath him, okay? Anytime, like, a private talked to him in the campaigns, he was always reassuring to them. It's like, don't worry, we'll get through this. You're probably going to die in a minute, but don't worry, we're going to get through this, okay? I got you, buddy. You know, you pat him on the shoulder, it's like, okay, stay behind me. I'll take the brunt of the fire, and you try to get to their flank, okay? I mean, you know, Master Chief always kind of had that, like, respect to his lower underlings. Not Spartan Palmer, she's just, like, mega asshole. Alright, so you're just case in point, you have a group of Spartans, just using this hypothetical, mind you. It's like, hey, we're under fire, can we get some backup? And she'll, like, do some snarky response like, I don't know, can you? It's just like, I mean, she treats every soldier under her command like fucking dog shit, okay? And it gets annoying fast. Like, honestly, every time a fight scene happens with Palmer, I'm just kind of like hoping, like, please, a Covenant soldier, just chop her head off, please. I am sick and tired of hearing this condescending dick, okay? And she is a condescending dick, alright? I cannot stand Palmer, okay? I don't mind every other Spartan. Every other Spartan's fine. It's just Palmer and her crude attitude to her entire soldier base underneath her is obnoxious as freaking hell. But yeah, so that was my experience with Halo 4. Did I like this game? Absolutely. I liked the story, although one of the things that didn't make sense to me was the fact that, like, Del Rio, they just kind of get rid of him once he's played his part. And they kind of jump over, like, a lot of stuff. Like, I could have easily used this campaign to be another 3 or 4 missions longer, and the Spec Ops to be another 10 or 20 missions shorter. Okay, I could really use that balancing. That was a little bit unbalanced, but what I did get, I did enjoy, and I absolutely liked how it ended. I felt like it was a nice, satisfying conclusion. While not the best outcome, it's like, no, this is a nice place to leave the series if I had to. Like, yeah, I could walk away knowing that Master Chief did his duty. He did his job, and, you know, he did right by me. And I'm not stuck thinking of him floating out in the middle of space. He's like, you know, back home doing the good fight, and so I was happy about that. So ultimately, I feel this was a good, potentially concluding chapter, but starring chapter for the new trilogy of Halo. It was a nice ending chapter for the 360, a nice, you know, introduction to the Xbox One, and I felt this was a pretty good game, regardless of the issues I had with it. So, my name is Christopher Connell with 11th Hour Reviews, and that will be all.